So you're looking to move to the Lehigh Valley, but you're not exactly sure where in the Lehigh Valley. It's a common question. Lehigh Valley is fairly big, but it's not big enough where you would know the actual individual neighborhoods that you might want to learn. Um, and in this video, I'm going to go over the top 5 neighborhoods in the Lehigh Valley. I'm going to give you my top pro and con of each. And then we're actually going to get in the car, drive around the neighborhoods so you can get kind of a feel of what it would be like if you were just driving around, what the neighborhood would look like, what kind of the overall feel is. Hey, if you're new to this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Lehigh Valley, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, tap the bell for notifications so you could be the first one to know about any updated conditions in the Lehigh Valley market. I get questions from people all the time that are looking to move to the Lehigh Valley area, and they want to know which specific areas have different things, which ones are better than other ones. So again, we're going to go over the top 5 neighborhoods in this video, and we're going to start out with number 5, and that is Upper Macungie. So Upper Macungie is a great neighborhood to be in the Lehigh Valley. It's basically on the far west side of the Lehigh Valley. And my main con with Upper Macungie is how far away you can actually be. Now, Upper Macungie is fairly large, so you could be a lot closer to what I would call the center of the Lehigh Valley, but also you could be really far away, which making a commute to any of the events in Bethlehem, in downtown Allentown, or in Easton, you could be looking at a 30-35 minute drive minimum, just to get to those events if you're doing them regularly. But overall, I would say walkability in the area is it's fairly good. It's it's very spread out, so you'll have a lot of major trucking routes in and out, but you'll have the neighborhoods kind of spread out in between them, and you have a lot of employers in the area, and that's my top pro for Upper Macungie. Is if you're looking to move to the Lehigh Valley for a job or a different career, Upper Macungie is very close to a lot of the major employers. There's Merck, there's Nestle, there's Mack Trucks, there's a lot of distribution centers. I mean, it's a very big hub for employment. But yeah, it's a great place to be in. The school district for Upper Macungie is Parkland School District, very big school district, huge school district. It's if you're looking to get into a good school that's very large, Parkland is a great place to be. And there's a lot of opportunities for kids in Parkland that you wouldn't get otherwise in smaller schools, just because how large they actually are. It's an A-rated school, very good school system, but like I said, it's very big as well. Overall, it's a great place to be. It wouldn't be my number 1 choice just because of how far away it is. But again, definitely one of the top 5. So next on our list is Bethlehem Township. So you may have heard of Bethlehem, and that's what most people would consider the city center, really. There's Bethlehem City and there's Bethlehem Township, right? And I'm talking specifically about Bethlehem Township. Now, Bethlehem Township, again, it's basically right smack dab in the center of the Lehigh Valley, right between Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton. It's probably on, if you were looking at a compass, it'd be right smack dab in the middle. But what's nice about it is it's not directly in the city center, so it's not so busy. You have some space, but you're very close to everything, and that's my top pro for Bethlehem Township. Is you can basically go to anything you need to get to within 10 to 15 minute drive, or you may even be able to walk. It's very walkable, depending on how far away from the city center you're getting. But all the events are nearby. It's a short drive to Easton. It's a short drive to Allentown. Very short drive to Bethlehem City Center if you're going down to Music Fest, if you're going to Arts Quest. or any of the other local things that are happening. Many, restaurants, lots of things to do, comedy clubs, you name it, it's there. It's definitely it's more of an urban feel for sure. And that's honestly my top con for Bethlehem Township. Although it's very convenient, for me personally, it's too urban, too busy. If you're looking for a little bit more space, a little bit more room, um, you're probably going to want to go a little bit further outside. It could get very congested with traffic, especially during the holiday season because everybody's doing their shopping in the area, and they have the Chris Kindle Mart, which if you're not familiar with, I'll make sure to do a follow-up video on that. But it can get very busy, which to me, it's not my thing. I'd rather be a little bit further out. But again, Bethlehem Township's a great place to be if you want to be close to the action. Um, the high school for Bethlehem Township is Freedom High School. It's a B-rated high school. It's not the top high school in the area, but it's still a really good school district. So next on my list is Coopersburg, and I don't know if a lot of people really consider Coopersburg when they think about moving to Lehigh Valley. It's just not one of those towns that really people generally think of. It's a little further south. It's probably in the southwest corner of Lehigh Valley. You're getting closer to the Quakertown area. It's much smaller than something like Northampton or Bethlehem or Nazareth. It's a lot smaller, but it's a great area. And my top pro for Coopersburg is it has such a great small town kind of feel. And I originally come from a small town, Old Forge, up in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, and I really like that feel of kind of being in the small town kind of area. Now, when you get in the city center of Coopersburg, it's really great. You have all these little shops, you got your restaurants, your bars, you have every little thing that you kind of need. But my top con for Coopersburg is in order to get you have the essentials nearby, but if you wanted to go for either an event, or if you want to go out to a bigger like a bounce place, or you want to bring your kids to some sort of event, or large park or anything like that, you're going to have a little bit of a drive. Now, not necessarily as far as what I would say in Upper Macungie. You're a little bit closer, specifically because you're next to 309, especially if you have to commute down south a little bit, or even up towards the northern side of Lehigh Valley. You could hop on 309 pretty quickly and get to where you need to go, which is really convenient. But overall, Coopersburg is a really great place to be as well. Definitely number 3 on my list. The school district in Coopersburg is Southern Lehigh School District. Very good school district, A-rated school district. A lot of opportunities there as well for kids. So number 2 on my list is Nazareth, and Nazareth is great. It's right in the northeastern part of the Lehigh Valley, maybe northern part of the Lehigh Valley, but it's great. It's very walkable, right? So that's my top pro for Nazareth. It's very walkable. You could walk to just about everything you need to get to, all your essentials. They have a great downtown. They have plenty of shops, and grocery stores are nearby, and just anything you really need, you could basically walk or bike to. You don't really need to go outside for much, unless outside of the neighborhood for a whole lot, unless you're going to some sort of event. And you're not that far away from, to the Bethlehem area, uh, than a lot of the other neighborhoods as well. My top con for Nazareth, and this is kind of odd, but what I noticed when I'm up in that area, and I talk to a lot of the homeowners in the area, is it's very windy. And this is kind of weird, but it gets very windy, and a lot of it's coming because of the way the mountains are positioned as you're coming through the valley. You get a lot of wind through that area, and I see a lot of wind damage on properties. And I talk to homeowners all the time, and they'll have a trampoline went over their neighbor's fence, or their shingles are getting taken off the roof. It's just from that wind coming through off of the mountains there. It really whips through Nazareth, and you definitely notice it more in Nazareth than many of the other neighborhoods on this list. The Nazareth area school district is an A-rated school district. It's another great school district. Lehigh Valley is filled with a lot of great school districts. Just if you're not catching on to that, it's a very important topic in the Lehigh Valley. A lot of people focus on it, but what I like to focus more on is kind of what opportunities you get at the districts, and the size of them as well, because that's a major factor to me and my family. So number one on my list is Lower Saucon Township / Hellertown. And I might be cheating a little bit here because I'm kind of combining two neighborhoods in one, but it's still the same school district, right? So it's hard to separate Lower Saucon and Hellertown in my mind, because they're the same school district. They're right next to each other. The downtown is shared by them. As much as they might want to separate each other from being connected, it's hard to do so. But what I like about this area, my top pro, is that you're far enough away from everything that you don't really hear it, but you're close enough that you can get there pretty quickly. And what I mean by that is, if you want to go into downtown Bethlehem, you're about a 10-minute drive. If you want to go to Easton, you're about a 20-minute drive. If you want to go to Allentown, you're about a 20-minute drive. You're kind of, conveniently in the middle, but yet you're far enough away that it's definitely a more country feel. It's a lot more open space. A lot more trails, parks, things to do, rather than if you were in, closer into the city. My top con for this area is that it's very expensive. So the taxes are much higher. The home prices are much higher. It's difficult to get into the area. There's not a lot of housing inventory. There's really not many houses being developed in the area, just because there isn't a lot of room to build houses. So which is one of the reasons why the prices are so high to begin with. But again, it's a really great area, great neighborhood, and it's my number one on my list. So the school district in Saucon Valley, again, like I mentioned, it's shared by Hellertown and Lower Saucon. It's Saucon Valley School District. It's an A-rated school. What I liked about this school, not just the rating, me and my wife had talked about the size of the school. If we just went based off the ratings, we could have been in a number of different schools, but we wanted to go to a smaller school, and that had a lot of opportunity for the kids as well. And that's why we chose, Saucon. All right, so that takes us through our top 5 neighborhoods of the Lehigh Valley. I hope that helps you to make a decision if you're moving to the Lehigh Valley. Again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. All my information is in the description below. You can call, email, text anytime. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you around the neighborhood.